the edge of a small desert town where a B-17 bomber sits next to an old diner, a mystery has begun to unfold. At first, it was just a strange voice on an old radio. Then came the disappearances in town that no one could explain. Now mystery lights have begun to appear out on Navajo Mesa, and the local sheriff has grown strangely silent about it. But 4 residents of town have decided to investigate. 4 friends who think they can solve the mystery. 4 everyday kids who call themselves the Last Chance Detectives. But that day, when they went out into the desert, they had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
Right.
The Last Chance Detectives. Now available on video cassette from Focus on the Family Films.
It travels only at night. It stands 3 feet taller than the average human. It wields incredible strength. It's been called Sasquatch, Yeti, Orange Eyes, Bigfoot. And those in Ambrosia believe it's only a legend. Until now.
Did you say something about a Bigfoot?
These almost look like claw marks.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Sounds like you've got yourself quite a dilemma.
What in the blue blazes? I think it's coming this way.
It's coming here.
Now available on video cassette from Focus on the Family Films and Tyndale Family Video.
If you've ever searched for an answer, if you've ever looked for something that was lost, if you've ever held out hope in a hopeless situation, then meet the Last Chance Detectives. Mike Fowler was 6 years old with a dad for a hero. As a fighter pilot, Mike's dad was often away from home. But when he was home, they had the best of times, until one day. Now believing his dad is missing in action, Mike refines his detective skills, hoping to one day find his dad. Making their clubhouse in a restored B-17, Mike joins 3 friends in solving their small town's not-so-small mysteries.
I'm Mike Fowler. This is Winnie, Ben, and Spence.
Together, they're the Last Chance Detectives.
You don't mess with the Last Chance Detectives!
Explosive episodes wherever quality family videos are sold.
Once upon a time, in a magical land that looked strangely like a swamp, there was a little tadpole.
Oh, hey there.
Who dreamed of being big so he wouldn't be teased anymore. Some saw greatness in Tad.
You, my friend, are about to become the hero of Hopper's Landing.
because he was big on the inside, where it counts. But like any good hero story, there's a bad guy.
You are one fine, snaky kind of guy.
Cheer on Tad, Toad, Sally, and the other frogs as they battle for what's right.
I'm taking a stand against evil and injustice and bad stuff.
Oh my! Are you gonna slap me with your little tail?
Ribbits is about truth versus lies. What's a few flies?
You know, you gotta be the cutest frog I've ever seen.
For kids ages 3 and up. Available at Christian bookstores everywhere. Or wherever fly swatters aren't sold.
I think she's got a point.
I think she's got a lot of fruit on her head.
For truths that stick in a wishy-washy world, check out the new series Ribbits from Focus on the Family and Zonder Kids.
The Kids' 10 Commandments. From the minds of Emmy and Humanitas award-winning writers, producers, and directors, along with an advisory board of pastors, rabbis, educators, and Bible scholars. Production teams from around the world have worked for nearly 3 years on over 85,000 drawings to bring this 5-part series to life. Lou Diamond Phillips, Jodie Benson, Tom Bosley, Tim Curry, Peter Strauss, Paul Winfield, and John Schneider are just a few of the world's top voice talents who are a part of K10C. So join us on a new journey, a new movement of people committed to bringing this entertaining and unprecedented resource to teach God's commandments to a whole new generation. The Kids' 10 Commandments.
Get them out of there!
Welcome to the making of The Last Chance Detectives. That's me, Ryan Calhoun, and I do most of my own stunts. Cool. I'm acting in an exciting new video series called The Last Chance Detectives. We're filming on location in Kingman, Arizona, and as you can see, I'm not the only one working here. In this video, we'll meet some of the cast and crew and take a behind-the-scenes look at how they do their jobs. But first, let's hear what this episode's all about.
It's a mystery story. And the idea is that there's 4 kids who live out in this small desert town called Ambrose, somewhere along Route 66.
I play Mike, and he's basically, he kind of holds the group, the Last Chance Detectives, together.
They hear a mysterious voice out in the desert on the radio that's somewhere out in the desert. They go to investigate.
There's 4 of us, and we're all detectives, and I'm the only girl.
So, what am I looking at?
And there's a museum robbery that takes place.
The actual floor plan. The floor plan to the museum? Spence, is this even legal?
Of course. Simply, it's adventures, and I'm into adventure stuff.
Sheriff Smitty, oh my God.
Pretty soon one of the kids sees a light out there, and it looks like it's a UFO.
Yeah, right, a UFO. You know, so they don't really believe me.
The kids sort of stumble their way into this thing and actually effect the solution to it in kind of their own way.
If you want to find out what happens, you're going to have to watch the video, though.
Devin's right. But for now, let's find out what it takes to make The Last Chance Detectives.
Somewhere in here.
We've put all of our resources behind this to hire the best crew and the best cast that we could find.
They're from features, they're from commercials, they're from regular broadcast television shows. They're professionals in their business, and we feel very fortunate to be able to work with them.
It looks like an army of ants working, really. But everyone's very professional, they know their job.
logistically large as most features would be. The equipment, the size of crew, the amount of set construction that's going on, the equipment that's been brought in from out of state. It's a big shoot.
This is the most ambitious project that Focus on the Family Films and Tyndale have ever attempted. There's a very rigorous schedule out here. We're trying to pack a lot into every day, and the crew has really been pulling together to make it happen.
Anytime.
The sets are really incredible. The art director and his crew are designing and building an old gold mine, plus the inside of a World War II B-17 bomber, and the Last Chance Diner.
3 months ago, where we're standing right now, there was nothing but open fields that you see out there. And we were asked to come in here and create on this runway a diner, which you see behind me. The reason that we're on the runway is because B-17 had to land and park itself right next to this.
The Last Chance Detective series is being shot in 35mm, just like a feature film. Tim Eaton, the director of photography, and his crew are lighting the sets and outside with a special look to bring certain feelings to the story.
Romantic, sense of what you call heightened realism, as if you saw everything just at the right moment. Things happened at the right time for the prettiest light.
Now, what would an action-adventure film be without stuntmen? Let's check these guys out.
We're gonna crash the dune buggy through the mine shaft wall here before the sun comes up, hopefully.
There's a lot of planning that goes into a stunt. Everyone is extra careful.
Do one of these and go off camera or something.
You got 25 guys out here, all for a few magic seconds on film, and I think that's what movie making's all about.
Wow, let's look at that again from a different angle. Hey guys, that looked a little close.
It was close. Yeah. Close is our business.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention the director, Stiles. Steve not only tells us what to do, he shows us. It's the director's job to make the script come to life as a movie. Steve lets everyone else know what they have to do to help him tell the story. That's Bob Vernon, the producer. Nice toss, Bob. He's in charge of everything from hiring and scheduling the cast and crew to finding locations and renting the equipment. Bob also created the story and the characters for The Last Chance Detectives. Bob and Steve are the main creative forces behind the series.
And he said that the engine went off and that the lights came out and that... Sheriff, tell him what we saw!
Bob walked into my office one day with this idea called Last Chance Detectives, and we began to work with it and work on a story concept for it together. We pretty much have the story in its entire form, but in a rough way, and we handed it over to the Taney family, Brock and Bodie, Jake and Luke.
When they took a look at the concept, they said this was right up their alley, it being out in the Southwest, it being mystery. They absolutely loved it. And these kids that are our cast are just climbing all over, just loving this stuff and loving these characters.
Speaking of characters, it's great working with actors who've been doing this for years. They're always looking out for us and helping us with our lines and showing us how to be natural on camera.
They're still kids. They're not totally actors, as I would say, and you see that nice quality of their unique child qualities coming through in them still, and I think that's important.
They seem to be exactly hitting it on the mark. What I envisioned when I created these characters, these kids are making their own, and it's exciting to see.
It's really their first big production like this, where they carry this much of the load, and I've just been very proud of the 4 kids who are our 4 leads.
Oh, Mike. Oh, you!
The coolest thing about this movie is the way it deals with important stuff, like friendship and truth.
The whole series is about the idea that you can't trust your feelings to guide your actions. And kids today kind of grow up in a popular culture where that seems to be the prevalent thought. And what we're trying to say overall with our stories is that there has to be something greater, has to be something that's outside of you that informs the decisions that you make. And what we believe that is the Bible and God's Word and His presence in our lives that guides us, is our moral compass.
That was our look at the making of The Last Chance Detectives. I'm really glad I got to be a part of it all. I learned a lot about acting, and I also learned some important things about life. And you know what? I had a great time doing it.